Okay, first question. How did you get your promo to start right away when it went live and not
Uh,
already be 30 seconds into it?
you got to be fast with the button clicking.
Because I thought you had to hit the promo first and then the live button and then the live button again.
No, you hit the live button, and then I hit the live, and then the promo. And I know everybody does it different.
Okay,
There are many times when it catches me by surprise. So especially when I have guests, that's why I say, "Are you ready?" Because just in case I don't hit it, I don't want you to be caught with your pants down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
gotcha.
It's happened to me.
Totally.
Hi, everybody. We're talking backstage stuff
Yeah.
now.
But I changed the promo, or like my little intro video
I
there.
like
And
it.
I have
Lots
all
of
these
pictures.
I love the
beautiful
pictures. The
that I've
pictures are
taken.
fabulous.
So I thought, why not add them in? So there you go. So hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. This is Monday night.
Yay.
I don't know what time it is where you all are, but here it's 7 p.m. It is kind of like a icky day because it's like humid and it's a little warm, but like it's not really like sunny or bright. It's kind of like that, the calm before the storm kind of day. So
Yeah.
We had hot, bright sunshine all day until about 1 o'clock. And I was
beautiful.
sitting in my office and I was like, why is it so dark in here? And I turned around and looked and it was like black outside. I went, oh crap, I left all my windows cracked. I jumped up, I went run out the office. I told the other girl, I said, my windows are cracked. It's about to rain. Well, she's parked like 3 blocks away and rides a
Oh
scooter
no.
to get from where she parks to get to the building. And she was like, oh my God. And she grabs her scooter. We both go hauling ass out the door, trying to get to our vehicles before the storm hits. She got to her car and got everything in it and got in it herself before the storm started. But it was raining so hard when she reparked in front of the building that just between the door and coming inside, she got drenched all the way
Aw,
down. I
poor
was
thing.
like, bless your heart.
Can you guys hear that? The lawnmower? Okay. All right. Because I'm.
It never
Yeah.
fails. It never fails. I was
No.
doing something on the weekend and it's like I literally hit record and it's like every neighbor I have decided that was the opportune moment to start their lawnmowers. I'm like,
Hi,
come on.
Ivana.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Hello,
All right,
Jen.
Jen. So hi Ivana, hi Kristen,
Hey,
hi
Ivana.
Pooja.
And
It's nice
Jan,
to
hi,
see you.
Jan.
Hopefully we will have some more people popping in. If not, there's always playback. I am happy to have Shari, Voices from the Swamp, back. And this is Marina's first visit to Dozen Cats, so welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
Well, what you don't know, Marina, because I didn't tell you this part. Shari knows this part because I've already done that to her. When you're our first-time guest, you have to answer some questions. It gives us an opportunity to get to know you better. I promise they're not.
You gotta go.
So
I was waiting for that.
So whenever you just take a moment and think about that, and I'll let you break out into a sweat. I promise they're harmless.
No, absolutely.
I came back, so you know they can't be that bad.
Right. Marina was kind enough to have me on her channel. I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, something like that.
And so I'm happy to have her here. We're going to do some hot topics, so get your questions ready, friends. Politics, entertainment, whatever. Like it's kind of like a who's in the news. And
Yeah.
you not love the tale? I mean, it was perfectly straight.
Yes.
Okay, so this is Quincy, and Quincy is literally trying to steal my straw out of my pop. That's why he's here. Don't let it fool you, make you think that like he loves me or anything like that. He literally wants to steal.
No, yeah.
You think Mama got something good in there? I want some.
Oh no, he'll just steal the straw. Like he is a straw guy. He literally, or he'll just bathe in it. I don't know what that's about.
Our
but
cat
he'll like
does the same.
In and try to like clean himself with whatever the beverage is, which is gross. Let's just be honest. But anyway, that's a whole other story for another day. So Marina, are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, 3 things that you have to have on you at all times.
My Lemurian necklace that I have to have. my ring, and that doesn't come off, and perfume.
I love that. Totally cool.
Yeah.
That's excellent.
And
All
I
right.
can attest they never come off. She's always wearing them.
I don't take my rings off, but these two necklaces, I don't, this is my mom's. I never take this off. Never taken it off since the day I put it on. And this necklace, my puppy broke the pendant, which matches this ring that I have
nice.
from my husband, and I've never taken this off either. And unless I was like getting it like cleaned or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a rule, no, they always stay on.
I change jewelry like everybody changes underwear.
Yeah, I'm not
A daily thing.
that person. I don't know why. I have lots of jewelry, but I don't like change it. I just keep adding. I don't mind this or move it around, which is bad.
All mine is color coordinated, and if the outfit has gold or gold tones in it, then I got to make sure I got the gold. The gold earrings, the gold rings. I love my bling. I'll be the first to admit it. If it's on the silver tone, then I have to make sure I get all the silver out. And today, this is a lot of black and gray and maroon, and my slacks are gray. So I took my Tree of Life quartz and my black chain. And
I never, you know what? The only time I did that was in the 80s when I would match my scrunchie to my socks and my shoes. That was as coordinated as it got.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Second question for Marina. Do you have a mantra or like a favorite quote or something that you sort of like an affirmational type thing that you sort of resonate with, or that you say to yourself or have around on your phone or on the fridge or something like that you would like to share or could share?
And I have several that I really like, but the one by Henry Ford really sticks out, and that is whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
I love that.
And that just kind of affirms what I will usually tell people, when it comes to if I'm doing personal readings or whatnot, is what you think is what you attract. So if your thoughts go to the, this will never work out, you're right, it won't.
Yeah.
It won't.
100%.
So, and the opposite is true.
Yeah. Mine is very similar to that kind of vibe. And we all know the story. I'm going to share it again because I personally love the story, and I don't know that Marina knows this story. But I had a bulletin board here above me, or beside me, I suppose I should say.
I was going to ask if they had.
And yeah, no, and I had a whole bunch of sticky notes on there with positive, like sort of quotes and affirmations. And I woke up one day and went, it looks funny, it looks different somehow, but whatever. And I just kept on going. And then the next day or 2 days later, it was really obvious that something had gone radically wrong because half of them were missing. Well, it turns out that little guy, the one who likes to stick his paws in your drink, he ate them all. So the cat's super positive.
Yeah.
I suppose is the bonus that we can take from that. But anyways, I literally had a bunch there. Anyway, my favorite one is be what you want to see.
Yep.
Right. And I'm all about the mirror work. So to me, it made sense to me. All right. But these are your questions. They're not about me. So we'll go back.
Mine was always be kind to one another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My mother used to drill that in my head. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all.
100%. Hi, Samantha. Hi, Emerald Buddha. Hi, Esther G.
Hi, Emerald.
Okay, so third question for Marina is, what does a day off look like for Marina? What is your ultimate thing that you wish that you could do when you have a day off or like nothing pressing?
I am really into making my soul happy. And sometimes what my soul wants is not too far from me. I will go into the salon. I will get my hair washed. I will get a manicure. I will get a pedicure. I'll stop on the way home. There is a chocolatier that is not too far, and I'll buy myself a little chocolate treat. That's for
Yes,
me. I'm not
girlfriend, I love it.
sharing it with anyone.
Mm,
You know, and then I come home and I'm just comfortable um in kind of taking the time and just do what makes me happy,
yeah,
when people say, well, I don't have time for that, or that's an all day thing or whatever. Yes, it is. But you're being good to yourself. You're nurturing yourself.
absolutely.
And you have to do that. You have to it's like Val would say, in like they tell you on the planes, put the oxygen mask on yourself before you put it on anybody else. So yeah, take care of yourself.
I love
Yeah.
that. I just typed in the chat, yes, Jan. Hi, Ocean Garnett. You guys can ask anything that you want. You know, no
Yes.
like health
And
questions.
it's funny because you end the question with that. Next week, I'm taking vacation. So it's like the other secretary that works in the same office suite as me, she was on vacation all last week. The one that works upstairs is on vacation this week. And then I'm going on vacation next week. And everybody's just like, can't get over the fact that I'm not going somewhere. I'm not
Yeah.
doing
Yeah,
something. And I said, well, I have 2 doctor's appointments lined up. And I figured, might as well take my vacation while I have to go 2 different days to
yeah,
get that taken care of. And the rest of the time, I'm like, I'm going to be working on my show and
Yeah.
setting up collabs and,
yeah,
taking the time that I normally don't get to take during the week. And maybe even be able to pop into a couple of the ones that do daytime shows that are
yeah.
always after me. When can you come on? When can you come on? It's like I work 10 hours a day. Unless you're going to
Exactly.
move to nighttime, I'm afraid I'm not going to be there.
Absolutely.
So, we'll see what happens. I mean, and that may work out and it may not. And what happens, happens.
You
I've
gotta
been
take what
taking
you can
time
get,
and
right?
trying to listen to new people as I come across
Yeah.
new people I see, like with David. Um, the first thing I do is I contact them. I go on their channel, I watch 3 or 4 of their shows just to see what their vibe is and how their energy feels. And if I like it, then I'm shooting an email to them. Would you like to do a collab with me on my channel? And most of them are like, yeah, that would be great. So
Yeah.
I figure, if people hadn't reached out to me in the beginning and said,
Exactly.
would you like to come on my show? I mean, I sure as hell wouldn't
I'm
be.
laughing. Sorry, Sherry, it's your story, and I'm laughing because I'm like, yeah, nobody asked me to come on their show. When I first started my channel, I was doing all the asking. I wasn't. I literally sent an email. We're totally going over top of Marina's questions, and I haven't forgotten. You still have 2 more questions to go, my friend.
Oh my goodness.
But when I started my channel, I understood that not only did I not know where I fit in, like where did I fit into this community?
Mm.
Because I, unlike every other tarot channel, didn't actually know how to use tarot. Didn't know anything about the cards, never owned a deck, never threw one.
Guilty.
I didn't know anything about oracle cards other than, I mean, I've seen them in action, but I didn't own any. And so as I was here doing my thing, I was like, oh, okay, let's throw some cards. And it happened very organically. So I call my
Yeah.
channel like my virtual journal log, right? It's sort of
Yeah.
like the Star Trek log, only not Star Trek. So the point that I'm trying to make is this: when I started, nobody knew where to put me. What could I do? I didn't know what I could
Yeah.
do. Nobody knew what I could do. And so I sent an email about, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half or 2 months in, saying, this is what I do so far. And if you think that this is something that would work for you, I would be happy to have you on my channel or me to come on your channel, because we were right sort of in the thick of things
Yeah.
when people were talking a lot of politics in the spiritual community, and a lot of those readers were saying to people, like, to make sure that you looked after yourself, that you don't get into the whole muck of the situation. And I
Yeah.
thought, because people were saying to me, like, your story will resonate with people in this moment. And so I put my sort of my face out there, and I sent that email, and I literally, out of 25 contacts that I collected, 2 people responded. 2. One of them said, I will have a look at what you do and I'll think about it. And another person was like, absolutely. And we had a phone conversation, and that's Nancy Jean from Nancy Jean's Garden. Other than that, we still don't know where Kelly fits in. But anyways, I found my own niche. Thank you very much. Moving on to
I don't know where I fit in either. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I mean, first 6 months I watched you take off and go, and you were doing shows right and left. Kevin's Loving Vibration, I watched him take off and go zoom through the stratosphere, and and a few others, and I was like, I'm sitting here with 50 people going, what the hell? What am I doing wrong? It was like, well, Shari, you have to get over your fear of getting behind the camera on your own channel and get out and get on your own channel. I would sit back and wait till somebody would ask me to come on.
It's not, this channel thing.
I was terrified.
It's not easy. It's not easy. No matter how long you've been doing it, it's not easy.
It's a lot of work.
So easy to offend someone, to hurt someone's feelings. You didn't notice that someone popped in because you were doing your reading. You didn't start their question. And I mean, I have had moments where I'm doing a show, broadcast, stream, live, whatever you want to call it. Someone's asked a question, and I have 4 people looking for the question, and we can't find it. Like, it's not there, but they swear that they put it in there. And they, I feel bad that they might feel bad, or like I they
want to argue with you when you tell them, I'm sorry, I can't find it, or the chat is jumped and it's gone now. Can you please put it back in? And I'll do it. And then they want to sit and argue with you about it, about go back up to, it's like, I can't find it.
I just feel bad if someone purposefully thinks that I might have, skipped over them or passed over them.
Right.
I don't really have many people arguing with me about that.
I know I do.
You know what I'm saying, though, right? Or my favorite one is this. Where you give a reading to someone and they're like mute. They don't say anything. There's no acknowledgement whatsoever. There's no validation. There's nothing. And then later on, you get an email or something where they say, thank you. This resonated, that resonated, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, in the beginning, oh my gosh, you guys, the stress that caused me, because I thought, oh my God, they're not saying anything. I must be like, wait, like, should I be doing this? Like, am I wrong? You know what I mean? Like, I would get really panicked over that. And I've learned to trust it, and just, I have more people telling me that I resonate than not. So I trust it. But in the beginning, I was like, oh boy, what's happening?
First couple of personal readings that I did, one-on-one personal readings I did, was like that, where they just didn't, there was no give and take in the reading. There was no validation coming back. And then a day or two later, I would get an email saying, you were just spot on when you said this, when you said that. And I'm sitting there thinking, for 2 days, I've been going, what did I do or say wrong? That they never reacted to anything. So
yeah, absolutely. All right. Yeah. So we better get to Marina's couple of questions, and then your questions in the chat. Otherwise, we're not going to answer any questions, which I'm fine if we just chat. If we're all about that, I'm good with it. Marina, your fourth
whatever
question,
happens.
Absolutely. Your fourth question is: do you have a food, a celebration, a tradition that you sort of have carried on from your childhood down from your parents, something that, like, when you are in that moment, when you eat that food, when you smell it cooking, when you think about, when you see that day on the calendar, that just lights you up and just, sort of fills you with such joy? Do you have something like that you could share with us?
Yeah, and it's funny. It is food related. I'm very much a foodie, so those are the things that kind of resonate with me. But there's, I was actually born in Croatia while it was the former Yugoslavia, and one of the things that my mother used to make, and it was always considered a bit of a treat, was excuse me, they call them palachinke, but it's like a crepe,
Hmm.
right?
I've
So
had one before. I have a friend who is Ukrainian, and her father was, what was her father was something. So they have quite a mixture, and I used to go to their house for like certain celebrations, and there was
yeah,
always like special treats. They're so good.
they are fantastic, and you could you could put jam on top of it and roll it up and eat it that way. You could throw something savory on it and eat it that way, but it was always like just I love the taste. um, and there's a method to making it, right?
Right.
There's it's kind of a ritual that you do. It's not something you throw it in the pan and you cook it for 10 minutes and there you go, it's done. um, and when I was younger, I used to practice because mom would be able to put it in the pan, and she'd twirl it around till the bottom was covered, and then shake it up a little, and she would flip it in the air so that the uncooked side would come down. So yeah, I used to practice that when I
I love
was
that.
when I was younger. So yeah, now every time that I make them, and I do make them quite often because my son really enjoys them. It's yeah, when I'm flipping, it's like I'm remembering all the times that I've watched other people do it and how they did it, and it yeah, it
I
just brings
think
up a lot of
food
good
brings
memories.
people together.
Yeah,
It's a real vibe. It's a real connection. When you think about, I mean, when, for example, you think about summertime, one of the first things that comes to your mind is either barbecuing or camping, like picnics,
yeah,
cookouts, right?
yeah,
Uh, your cookout, my cookout are totally different, perhaps, but the idea is that we gather together and sort of break bread with each other. That's how we
exactly.
communicate. That's how we get to know new people. I mean, how many first dates are done over food? How many
Exactly.
work luncheons and work meetings are done over food? It is a great sort of binding agent, for lack of a better way to put it. Like it
Yeah,
does, it brings people together. And
absolutely.
like to me, because I'm a foodie too, I just love the smell of food. But
Yeah,
like walking in the house and smelling that smell, when we used to get off the elevator to go to visit my Nana, you could smell the food cooking all the way down the hallway.
yeah,
And there was something about walking down that hallway, knowing that she was in there doing her thing as only she could do it.
yeah,
Not that it was fancy or it was fabulous,
yeah,
but she was cooking it for you, and it was wrapped
yeah,
in a giant slice of love. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
it was the anticipation of walking down the hallway and all that that meant, not just the food itself. So I totally dig it. Okay, your last
yeah,
question.
absolutely.
Where's your happy place?
Where's my hat?
These weren't supposed to be skill testing questions. Marina, sorry.
You know,
The therapist comes out in her when she starts
I
this.
love it.
I, well, probably if I had to pick a specific place, it would be the dog park.
Love
I
it.
love going to the dog park and just being in the energy with the animals. We have a beautiful park that we take our dog to.
Mhm.
That there's a river that runs through it. There's it's got an open area. It's got forest kind of. So you're really, really in nature. We're sort of in the middle of the city, but when you're at the park, you don't really hear the city. It's kind of background noise. You hear the
Right.
birds, and you hear the other dogs, and you hear them splashing in the water. That's yeah, that's where I'll go if I feel like I need an energy boost. That's where I'll go.
I love that.
Otherwise, yeah, just
That's my cat meowing. Sorry, he's upset because the door's closed.
The nerve.
Well, I mean, I do have some sort of nerve.
Yeah. Yeah, mine will do the same thing. Mine will do the same thing.
Well, thank you for being very patient and answering those questions.
Oh,
Uh, it's
lovely.
just my way of getting to know you better and allowing the other people to know you better if they're not already familiar. I did, by the way, people put Shari and Marina's channel links into the description box or into the description box as well as into the chat. So if you're not already subscribed, please go check my friends out. Show them some love, as we like to say.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, Marina, talking about being in the park and not hearing the city sounds. I mean, I've lived practically in the middle of the city where I'm at since I moved back home back in 2011. The old place where we lived, I can't remember one day where I would just go sit outside and hear birds chirping. About a month after the pandemic hit and lockdown happened, I'd gone outside. One of my neighbors was outside, and so we're like sitting on each other's in front of each other's door, like yelling back and forth to each
Yeah.
other. And at one point, I'm sitting there and I'm like, "Do you hear that?" She's like, "What?" I said, "Birds." I said, "I can't remember the last time I heard
Yeah.
birds singing over here." Then it would be what, 2 summers in August when we moved to the new place and we moved here. I not only have birds singing all over the place, we have a pair, eagles that
Oh,
fly all around here and swoop down in the parking lot like eye
nice.
level. You know, the first time I saw them, I nearly fell out of the chair. I was like, oh my God, that was eagles. I didn't even know we had eagles in Louisiana. Who
Yeah.
knew? Um, and one day, my son and I were out on the patio, and all of a sudden, this big, giant monarch butterfly, black and gold butterfly, comes flitting onto the patio and around our heads and dancing all around us for like 5 minutes and then flitted away. And I remember we both looked at each other and were like, did I just see what I think I just saw? And I'm like, I don't know. I think I saw it too.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen a butterfly that big, that gorgeous, like right in my
Yeah.
face.
Wow.
I mean, you know, you see them on TV and on pictures, but not in real life. You know,
Yeah.
you might see the little ones off in the distance sometimes, but not like dancing in front of your nose where you can see their little eyeballs. I mean,
Yeah.
it was the creepiest experience in the world. And
Yeah.
so
Perfect.
yeah, it's funny how that can make a big difference because when I need to ground, when I need to really connect to spirit, when I feel like I've been just stretched too far or I'm letting too many other things get in the way, I have to go outside. I have to just go sit outside. You know, and now at least I'm somewhere where I have a private patio and I can go sit where
Mm,
people don't
Yeah.
bother me.
yeah.
And, you know, the old place, we didn't have patios. You just sat in front of your door if you wanted to sit outside. And so everybody and their brother would come talk to you,
Right.
whether if you wanted to talk to them or not. Go
I
ahead,
actually,
Alex.
you just made me think of something, and I know that this is random, but welcome to how my brain works.
Yeah.
I just realized that I don't have my background up, so I'm gonna see if I can do this. There you go. So there's
Oh,
it.
there we go. How
So
pretty.
you're on land. Water is in the foreground, so
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
you're
that's
not walking on
beautiful.
water. There you go.
That's all right.
We
You look at my background, you're in the swamp.
right. We have a really interesting question for Jan that I want to answer, but Jan, just bear with us for a moment. My thing is jumping. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Don't know why. Probably because I switched my background. I want to ask a question, and I don't normally read politics. I don't really have a preference about politics, like to read or to not read, but I don't really like getting into like the personal sort of energy of the politicians. I don't mind reading on the politics themselves. What I want to know, if we could throw cards on it.
Sure. What do you want?
I'm trying to think of how to form the question, because it's so important on how you form the question, right, friends?
Yes.
I want to know if the MAGA people, group, followers, whatever, tribe, whatever you want to call them, are actually convinced by what they are being told, or is it more of a, we have to do this because we sort of signed up for it and we can't sort of like turn around and say like, no, this is wonky now. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
So are they really in it to win it? Like, are they dedicated? Do they believe the BS that they're being told? Do they believe the lies?
Are we talking MAGA politicians or just the people?
We're talking the MAGA people, like the citizens, not the politicians. Okay. Do they really believe what they're being told? Do they live it, sleep it, and breathe it, or is it just like the newest fad? Like if someone has like one of those, what do you call it? One of those vacuums that sort of goes by itself. Well, I have to.
Yeah.
I got one of those.
So do I. Cats can't stand it. I gotta watch the thing and walk around the whole house with it. So I'm not sure what it did for me. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, my it's funny. I had the Knight of Wands pop out. I'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
I think that there was a time when a lot of them really did believe. And it was it.
Sorry,
what
I'm really loud.
What happened with their leader was he gave them permission to kind of bring out their worst selves, the things that they kept in the shadows and they kept in the dark. He basically said, no, it's okay. You can say those things. You can do those things. It's all right. So because of that, a lot of them followed him and, kind of bought everything that was being told to them. Ultimately, as more information comes out, there is that small group that are going to believe heart and soul that what they know is the truth, and it doesn't matter what you tell them. There is a much bigger swath who, like you said, have kind of said, well, I can't really walk it back because I was so vocal about supporting it. So, if I don't want to stand up to the people telling me I told you so. And then there's another smaller majority that have said, no, I'm done. I am so finished with this. I thought we would give the guy a chance, and no, that's not what it was. He took us for a ride, and I'm here to tell you. So, they believed in the King of Cups. He told them, excuse me, what they wanted to hear, right? And he said, it's okay if you're a misogynist. It's okay if you're a racist. It's okay to do those things. And so the Three of Pentacles, it was like they felt they belonged to a club.
Mm-hmm.
And it was an exclusive club because of who the leader was. It was like, but no, they are fast leaving. They are fast leaving. They're they're seeing the light, and they're saying, you know what, everything that he promised us was a lie. And you can't run a country based on lies.
No.
So yeah, that's what I got.
I want to show you my cards because I pulled my Kipper cards, and I don't know why Kippers really speak to me. I mean, not Kippers, the food. I'm talking Kippers, the cards.
The cards, yeah.
In case there was any confusion. So, this is what I've got. We start out with bad health. So, it's this the stress and the tension and the sort of discontented and disconnected feeling that they all had, like you were saying, where they sort of gravitated towards the person that was saying out loud and making it okay for them to then say it out loud, right? Yes. So there was a lot of tension, sort of that like bonded, misery loves company, I want to say, for interesting purposes only. Sorry, that seems really rude, but it makes me really happy. Like I'm smiling while I say it, but you know what I mean, right? We have the message. Now, normally this is like a form of communication, but and of course, when Trump would speak out, when Trump would do his rallies, the communication, I mean, it is a legitimate technique if you're into all of this kind of stuff, that like psychologically, that elevators, grocery stores, department stores, furniture stores, shoe stores, car dealerships will play certain types of music that will literally lure you into like, oh, I totally want this, and you didn't want it at all when you walked in there. Yeah, it's a proven thing. It's like an actual legit thing. So the constant, like, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, fake news, and
the message,
and they're literally sitting there going like, oh, I knew it, right? It's funny because you got what did you get? The
King of Cups.
The King of Cups. So they're like, they literally thought that he was it. He was their official spokesperson that made it okay to say, you know what, that sucks, or I'm not happy about that, or whatever. To literally say how they felt without even thinking about the consequences of their actions, and then using the blanket statement that it's my First Amendment right, which is not what it means. We have change. Hello. Could it be more obvious? I don't need to explain that card, I'm sure. And then I got message of concern. So normally in this deck, this message of concern is literally you sitting there and you receive the letter and you're like, oh my God. It's kind of like a tower moment. Yeah. That message of concern is what's happening right now, because the truth is out. Hello. It's looking you right in your face, and you can't deny it. You can't take it back. You can't walk that back. How does Thanksgiving look for you now? Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you do now? And on the bottom of the deck, which a lot of people don't read the bottom of the deck for Kippers. Can you see why I can't read these? Because I'm excited, which is bad. It's bad. I'm excited. But
no, it's good.
I got the coffin.
Yeah.
Friends, it's over. And look what's behind it, friends. Like, I'm not joking. We've got the courthouse. Look what's underneath that. We've got judication. Yeah.
I should have
being held to account.
That's like a mic drop right there.
Yeah.
I should have pulled out my Kipper deck and see what I came up with.
All right, go, Shari. What have you got? I mean, it's just
fabulous. I'm going to preface showing my cards with the fact that I live in the Deep South. Mm-hmm. So I am surrounded by these people in a way that most folks don't get. Most of these people are people I've known most of my life, that it's like, really? You really believe that? Yeah. I have family. I had a cousin called me up a couple months ago having a conniption fit because he just realized, like the light bulb went off, that the Republican Party is trying to kill Social Security and Medicare and completely take it away. And he was having a conniption fit. And I was like, where have you been for the last 50 years? That's what they've been working on it for 50 years. That's been their main goal, is to take that away.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no. Well, how could you say that? I said, because I listen to what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I follow what they do. So, there is a reason why the Republican Party has worked so hard the last 30, 40, 50 years at tearing down the public education system in this country.
Mhm.
And that is because if they keep people functionally illiterate, just smart enough to sign their check to go cash it at the bank, that's going to then rip them off for half of their money anyway, then they're not smart enough to sit back and go, wait a minute. You're
Yeah.
saying you're going to do this, but your actions are causing the opposite. How does this help me? I mean, it's like cutting off your nose to spite your face.
Yeah, it's very much like the same messaging from Scientology.
Yes.
From the Search of Scientology.
Yes.
They cut off all of the outside sources that could inform you that what is happening within your world and in your protected sort of, universe. They cut all of that outside information off and keep you in the dark about it.
In the bubble.
You don't know what is true and what is not true.
Exactly.
And if you are, for example, if you're a good little kid and you just do what you're told, you know that at the end of the week, mama said, I'm going to get my allowance. So you just toddle around, you just do it. You don't know that it's different. You don't know that it's strange compared to anyone else, or that others, don't have to do what you have to. You just do what you're told because why wouldn't you? Do you know what I mean? It's
right.
Very much like that's why the book bans are happening. That's why everything was fake news. I don't think it was fake news to tell people not to believe it. It was fake news to literally so like they would not take anything in. And if you think about it, in every instance, whether you meet them in person or you hear the politicians, the reporters, the interviews, they literally don't answer a question with a response. They answer a question with the question, and it's usually, what about what that guy did?
Yeah.
Right? There's no substance.
Or they turn it around to where it's your fault that you're asking that question.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. But
sorry.
No, that's cool.
I didn't mean to go on.
That's cool. I mean, you have an entire generation now who are actually in office who have been breastfed on this.
Yeah.
I can't even think of a good word to use that I could say on the air. Rupert Murdoch did more damage to this world than most people realize with the start of Fox News, Sky News, whatever else, it is around the world. You had people who would get on air and willingly lie straight dead to your face, staring you in the camera, saying the exact opposite of what they know is the truth.
Yep.
Not like they didn't know, they knew. And getting people so worked up. There's a woman, and I'm going blank on her name and the name of the documentary she did about how they brainwashed my dad and how she unbrainwashed him, how she managed to do it with the help of her mother. And it's very true. I've watched that happen to people all across the South.
Yeah.
Good, hardworking, loving people who have been fed the same BS for so long that they don't know to not believe it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because they're also constantly being told that what anybody else says
is
false.
Out to get you. Absolutely.
You can show them statistical facts, the numbers, the dates, the whole. That's made up.
Yeah, it doesn't shift their thinking for sure. So sad when you think about it. Really, it truly is.
So I can't remember who it was. But and this was years ago, who said one of the ways to control a large population is you keep them sick and you keep them uneducated. Yeah. And that you control them.
And you convince them that the person next to them is the cause of their problems because of their skin color, their gender, their race, their religion, their whatever. And not the people that are actually doing it to you.
Yeah. You keep them, you keep them in fear and in less than,
Yay!
and sort of like substandard
Oh, they're
condition.
getting ready to roast his ass. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, Sherry, show us your cards because we have two.
Right.
We have two questions
I
that we got to
pulled
answer.
from the Oracle of Shadow and Light. I really like using this deck for political questions. The first thing I pulled was called Nautilus Princess. And it says powerful personal growth. That's what these people were feeling and have been feeling.
Yeah.
They feel like they have been given the power
Mhm.
and they're drunk with it.
Yeah,
And so
100%.
you're seeing book bans and drag queen children reading rainbow stuff taken away and
Yeah.
can't say gay and all this other ridiculous nonsense. Just the other day I asked someone, I said, well, did someone come knock at your door and tell you you had to divorce your wife and marry another man? Well, no. And I said, well, then why does it matter if gay marriage is legal or not? Don't they deserve the right to be happy like you and your wife? And yeah, at least I made him think. Don't know if it went any further than that, but at least I made him think. Then the next thing I pulled was Mildew Fairy. Cleanup time.
Ew.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's gross. Just the thought of mildew
Just
fairy.
a thought. But what we are seeing is something that has been rotting in the closet for a very, very long time. Hundreds of years worth of rotting in the closet.
All Trump did literally
This
was
crazy
press
ass
the green
man
light.
came along and said, it's okay. You can open the closet and throw all your mildewy crap out at everybody.
Yeah.
And you're perfectly good with that.
Yeah.
Well,
Trump,
the rest of us
Trump
stand
just
back
say
in
how you
horror
feel.
and go, oh my God, get the bleach and clean it. You know,
Yeah.
that's not
And you can't clean it until you see where the dirt is.
exactly.
You got to expose it to be able to know
And
that there's
that's why
That's right.
a week after Trump was first elected, the first week I was physically ill. I couldn't get out of bed. I was so sick of the stomach from it. That's how it affected me.
we got our own little DeSantis here in Canada.
I just could not believe what had happened.
Did
Then
you see
after
that guy?
about a week
Marina?
went by,
Sorry.
and I said, you know what? He's going to be the best damn thing to ever happen to this country because he's going to wake everybody the hell up.
I didn't say
And get
that.
them out of their benign contentment mode of everything's fine, everything's
You know, and
wonderful.
I totally get what you're saying, and I completely respect that because sometimes you have to know what the problem is to be able to address it and fix it and like navigate it.
And we as a country, we have never dealt with the racism, the genocide, all of the horrors that our own people have committed against our own people, not to mention other countries.
Right.
All while pretending to be the good guy. Now, granted, most of the time we are the good guy, but not all the time. And there's a lot of folks that'll let you know differently.
Absolutely.
And that has been part of what's been festering like this infected boil on the backside of America for a long time. And it took him to come out and poke a hole in it and let it spew on everybody. I know that's a gross, but
that is very gross.
It is. The last thing I got was Snow Angel. It says the signs are with you already. We already saw this coming. We saw that there have been, I can remember hearing people talking about this 20, 30, 40 years ago, that this was coming if we didn't step up and start doing something. But we had a whole generation that sat back and said, oh, no, everything's cool. We got it. We got this, we got that. It's all right. But
trying to get the cat off of the desk. Come on, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so we have 3 questions and we have like 10 minutes. So
okay.
I'd like to keep this like at an hour or just a few minutes over an hour because I want to be respectful.
We could do a 1 or 2 card pull each.
So the first question is from Jan Breck. Jan Breck says, my daughter Adine has vertigo badly and her spine is out too. Is out too. Lives in Valley. What modality is the best treatment for her and underlying emotional or past life happening? Now, bear with me here while I get the second part. She had a motorcycle accident and was not treated properly, and this could have triggered an old horse injury from her teen years. So I don't personally like reading on medical stuff, but I can definitely like, throw some cards around the energy of like how she's feeling or how she's responding to the treatment that she's getting, if that makes sense. And then we've got Pooja's question and we've got Sue's question. And then we will end it. All right. Whoa, flyers.
Yeah.
Too many though.
Okay.
I love what Rose said about when we were talking about Trump and that. And that was like a stray potato that rotted and gets stinky. It reminds me of when we moved. My cat Austin, the big tabby, he's like the best cat in the world, doesn't do anything wrong. But when we moved, one of the things that we realized that he was doing is when we would go to the farmer's market and get those little baby white potatoes, they would be in a basket. And he would take those and shoot them like footballs all around the house. And when we moved, they picked up the couch and there was like a couple of potatoes that was underneath the couch. We had no idea they were under there.
Yeah.
It's amazing what you find under and behind furniture when you finally move it. Especially when you have animals.
Okay, well, I pulled from the, the Akashic Tarot. And what I got was the Muse.
Mm-hmm.
I got the One of Roses, which is commitment.
I love that deck.
Yeah. And then I got Archangel Raphael.
Yeah.
So I too hesitate to read on medical things, but what I'm getting from this is that what she is going through now is healing some past trauma.
Yep.
And it could very well be related to the falling off the horse. That kind of scared her and it made her apprehensive. So by this happening now, it is triggering her to go back to that incident, to look at it as what it was, which is it was basically an accident. The horse got spooked. It wasn't anything that she did, but she's taken on a lot of blame for it. So, let go of that. Find a way to let go of that. Just let her know that, she is receiving the healing from Archangel Raphael. And if she makes a commitment to letting that go, I think the energy is going to shift around her.
Beautiful.
That's all I got.
I've got, now I want you to really pay attention to this, Jan, because this is so interesting to me when this happens. We've got the honoring path. So literally exactly what Marina just said. Then I pulled from the Power of Surrender deck, which I love. And we've got surrender to your soul's path. Like that's no accident that those two cards about your soul's path came out. The message on this card reads, your life's journey has been perfectly designed for your soul's growth. Embrace every lesson and every moment. And I know that that's a really tough pill to swallow, that someone was, had to endure a hardship or a bad situation because that was part of their journey or their destiny. That seems like a really tough pill to swallow. For sure. But we also forget that in those moments that we do have that free will to exercise. So I think that, and I'm not trying to blow sunshine into this, but I really think that this is an opportunity for her and the team around her, the team that support her, her family, her doctors, her therapists, whatever, to be able to flip this thing on its head and make her the example to others that could be in similar situations, that this is how you get out. This is how you get better. This is how you sort of, bounce back kind of vibe, right? Now, I pulled a crystal card because I love these cards. And I can't say this, So don't come at me for the pronunciation. We have this beautiful card of apotholite, I believe. And look at the stones. They're just a gorgeous collection of these like sort of green shaded sort of stones. And on the back side of the card, it says, access all information and knowledge available. Remember past lives as needed. Improve clarity during meditation experiences. Stay centered and maintain a quiet mind. So when you tie that stone back into honoring the path isn't about the outcome. The path is about the journey. It's the moment. Yeah. It's the day by day by day by day moment. And as you grow, as those days go by, the recovery gets easier. It gets more obtainable. You can see the light at the end of the tunnel way closer than you could in the beginning. In the beginning, it's like, I'm never going to get there. I'm just never going to make it. But as you get through it day by day, and that's really what I think is her ticket, is day by day. I want you to encourage her to celebrate every small, seemingly insignificant progress that she makes on a daily, even an hourly basis, and celebrate the shit out of it. You guys throw a friggin' party, buy her some flowers, have a cake, because she took an extra step today, because today she walked 2 steps and yesterday she only walked 1. That kind of enthusiasm and inspiration is what's going to motivate her to want to get to the next journey. And I'm not saying that she feels any sort of way. I'm just saying those things empower someone, right? And that's what she needs. She needs help to be empowered so that she can forge forward and honestly honor her path. I think that she is like a force to be reckoned with when she gets on the other side or gets near completion of this, in terms of helping other people around her, as an example of how not to let something like this, sort of debilitate you or take you down.
Yeah.
I truly feel that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for asking us that question. What'd you get, Shari?
Well, I really resonated with this question because it's very personal for me in a lot of respects. As someone who's already had one spinal surgery and has a steel rod and screws holding my head up, and is looking down the barrel of another surgery probably this summer, which I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it is hard when you're dealing with injuries that aren't obviously seen. Those are even harder for someone who's not used to being injured, or who wants to pretend like there is no injury, because it's not like you're walking around with no leg and people look at you and say, oh yeah, they're handicapped. When you're dealing with internal injuries or internal malfunctions of your body, it's hard to get the doctors to believe you, much less anybody else. So what Kelly was saying about celebrate every little step that she makes, that's important. If I hadn't have had my family around me to do that, I don't know if I would have gotten as far as I did. But they were always there to lift me up. They were always there to help me. First card I pulled was Journey. And it talks about get prepared. You've got a journey to take. Pack it up. Get ready to go. So she's on a journey, and it's just starting. And it may take a long time for her to get through this journey, to get to the end, simply because when you're dealing with medical issues, there's just so many things that can make a difference. You just never know. Person A may be fine tomorrow. Person B, it may take 10 years. Or like some of us, 20 something years. Regardless, she's on a journey and she's just starting it. She needs to be prepared, because what she got when she gets to the end is called Whale and Orca Elders. And it says on here, share your song share the frequency of sound, dive deep. And that's what she's going to be able to do. Is once she gets down this journey and she finishes this, she's going to be right there to share her song,
Yeah.
to share that frequency,
I
where
think
she's
it's
going to be able to
amazing.
resonate with other people and help them make the same journey.
I think it's amazing that we all got very similar sort of vibes
Yeah.
and feelings for that. Now, I understand Jan said that she understands the medical hesitancy, that she was looking really for like the best modality, like should she try acupuncture or, shiatsu or something. And honestly, Jan,
If I can be honest with you, don't mean to cut you off, Kelly.
no, I was just going to say I wouldn't even know where to begin, but I would say Sherry's been through
I've been dealing with this since
yeah.
1999.
She's a good person to ask. And the other person that I would suggest that you could talk to is maybe someone like Juno Sphere. She is very well versed in modalities, and that might be someone that you
she does some amazing stuff with the Jin Shin Jitsu. We do a show every other Sunday where we talk about it, and she discusses different things you can do with it. Try it. If she's willing to try it, try it. I have tried everything from acupuncture to chiropractic to steroid shots to hanging me upside down by my ankles. I mean, just literally, it's like, yeah, let's give it a shot. If it works, great. If it don't, oh well.
Yeah,
that's right. Move on to the next thing. Yeah, absolutely.
Something that's helped me a lot through all these years is aquatherapy. Going into a swimming pool.
Yeah.
You're not doing the breaststroke. No, you're just simply walking in the water.
Yeah.
Because the water removes gravity. So you have much more fluid movement, and it enables your body to move better. And it gets that movement and that exercise going. And I recommend that to everybody.
I love that. Thank you, Tracy, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope that helps, Jan. Thank you so much for asking the question. And we send you and your daughter our prayers and our blessings and our positive vibes. It's a horrible situation for her to be in, but I honestly feel like really good about her trajectory. It seems like with all of our cards that she is going to arrive at a really beautiful destination.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And like I said, Juno and I have started doing a show every other Sunday. Not this Sunday, but next Sunday coming up, where we talk about this very thing. We discuss it. Juno goes through all of the different things that she's learned from one of the masters themselves that helped create this modality.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm learning stuff from her that I never knew to try. And I'm going like, well, damn, that worked.
I know. It's so cool.
Yeah. You know, so, I mean, you're welcome to stop by and ask some questions. You have your daughter come on and listen and ask some questions, and
a great idea.
And hopefully we can give them some answers.
Absolutely. All right. So Pooja is up next. She says her question is moving to Bangalore city with my family really in our best interest, because this idea speaks to me every now and then, but it is scary to leave your birthplace. That's such an interesting question. And listen, making any kind of, change like that is scary. I think that you have to really do your due diligence, regardless of what the cards say, and figure out what about it do you want to do, and what about it is so scary to you. Because you can, if you have the ability to go back, like say you move somewhere and you don't like it, you can go back. Now, maybe you can't go back. So that could be a reason why you're afraid to go, if that makes sense. But really think about the reasons why you think you want to go and why you think you fear, and then discuss those with your family. That would be the first thing that I would suggest. But I'll throw some cards to see. Thanks everyone for being here. Thank you, Tracy, for popping the links into that. I was doing that
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tracy.
Because I'm a good
Very
host.
much.
Hey,
Thanks,
Pecha,
Tracy.
what I got, and this is the Mystic Sisters Oracle deck. I got the Sisterhood of the Silk Road, and this talks about wanderlust, fortunate travel, and so on. I then got the Coven.
Yeah.
And that speaks about converging purpose and motives. And finally, Sisterhood of Harmony, which is about music, affinity, and balance. And what those said to me was really go inside and examine, yeah, like Kelly said, your motives for wanting to make the move.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to make the move because you think that having your parents close by is going to help alleviate some of the stresses and pressures that you're feeling right now, think about the worst case scenario, and which is odd for me to say because I'm not sort of a worst case, but um, there are times when there needs to be some separation
Mm.
from our family. And my sense is that yours is a very traditional family. So
Mm-hmm.
um, introducing that kind of energy into your family circumstance could turn out to be unpleasant. So really, really look inside and ask yourself, okay, why do I get the feeling that I should do this? And what's happening in my life when I'm pulled to that thought? And then examine what's happening in your life while you're being pulled there. But for the time being, I would say just make sure that there's healthy room between your family and your your parents or whoever that might be.
I have the very similar thing, which is weird that I started out with that little speech.
I love that deck.
With the devotee, right?
Yeah.
Which this is you. You're devoted to your parents.
Yeah.
I think the idea of moving somewhere to be able to provide yourself with a better set of circumstances than that with which you came from. I mean, that's what every parent hopes for their child. That's what every person wants for themselves, right?
Yeah.
Is to do better, to gain somehow. These cards aren't because these cards are so distinct sometimes that we fail to see like the interpretation of them. I don't mean me. I mean people that are looking at them that aren't familiar with them. We have camouflage. So that takes me to the place of why I said you need to weigh it out and why you're asking the question. Yeah. Are you hiding from something? Are you trying to, well, this isn't working, so if I go over here, maybe it'll be better, like the grass is greener kind of thing?
Yeah.
Or is this a moment where you're like, I want to free myself from the boundaries and the constraints and I want to like get on out there and like live my best life? I don't know what it is for you, only you know that. And I feel quite strongly that you are not entirely sure either. I've got the knife. It's like cutting cords. It's like cutting the tension, cutting the constraints, cutting the boundaries. I feel like you might feel like you're boxed in a little bit and you want to like, whew. That's what I'm vibing. And the reason why I'm vibing that is because that's what's on the bottom of the deck is the angsty teen. Yeah. I want you to try and exercise. And I'm going to put the link in the chat. Okay. Because this is the best exercise that I ever did. And it literally helped me so very much. Susan Lynn, psychic medium. This is an exercise that her guides gave her called the damn thing. This is the link to that exercise. Listen to the exercise, follow the instructions, and hopefully it will assist you to figure out why you're motivated or inspired to move, right? And to sort of help you like step by step through the process so you're not stressed about it. So that you're not like, shouldn't I, playing that adult chess game with yourself. But you can really like sort out how you feel about it. There you go. Go ahead, Sharon.
All right.
Oh my God, I'm hot with that one. Woohoo!
The first thing I pulled was I Remember, a soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. So, are you moving or thinking of moving because that's your fate or because that's your destiny? And while a lot of people think those two words mean the same thing, they really don't.
No,
Not at all. But it can change for each individual person of how they interpret those words. So that's something to think about. Because then I pull the moon energy. It's to surrender to the natural ebb and flow of life. If you're feeling confused, when you focus on moon energy, it will help calm your emotions and give you peace of mind. This is the moon fairy, I guess. So, just take that quiet time, grab a notepad and start making out a list, pros and cons. Kind of like watching the damn thing.
Yeah.
That's great too. That's a wonderful video, by the way. I've watched it a gazillion times.
Mm-hmm.
Make a list out on a notepad. Reasons to go, reasons to stay. And then create a third list. What do I fear?
Yeah.
And make that third list in between the two to see which way it affects either side. And then the last thing I pulled was new moon in Cancer. You and your loved ones are safe. Spirit wants you to know that your family's safe. So, I think it's not going to be an easy decision, but I think once you make it, you're going to be glad that you did, regardless of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And doing something new is scary
For everybody.
Yeah.
All right, ladies, I apologize because we've gone over our hour. This is our last question. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Please do make sure that you check out Shari and Marina. They're lovely ladies. I'm happy to have Shari back on and happy to have Marina here for the first time. And hopefully Marina comes back. Hopefully we didn't scare her. Okay,
no. I don't scare easily. I brought up a child. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to be, I'm coming on the 13th, right? 13th at 3 p.m. I'll be on with Marina. And,
yes.
My schedule is so busy. I don't know where the hell I am, but I do know that I'll be every morning at 11 a.m. Not every morning, Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. You can find me right here, right in this little spot. I'll be right here. Yeah. Like that, in that little square.
And you find me and Marina with 5 other ladies every Wednesday.
Yeah.
At 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah. 4 p.m. Pacific.
Check it out, friends.
Yeah.
Okay. So Sue says, if not too late, my mom's sister passed overseas January 2023. Found out and I never got to say bye-bye. Is my Auntie Yibar the phonetic translation of her name with my Mama Lee? And does she know that I love her?
Love her.
Absolutely.
Of course she does.
I heard that just as clear as a bell in my ear. Before you finished the question, I heard it. Yes.
Yeah. I'm getting different cards out. Oh, sorry, friends. Literally like this. I don't know if I can do this. If you guys hear a massive topple,
Yep.
Let me just show y'all what I'm trying to do. Like, honestly, this is hysterical. Watch this. Hold on. Avert gaze. I'm changing cameras. Look. Okay, so that's where my hand is. This is the deck, this red one that I'm trying to get out. Look. Look. Like, that's not even a joke what I'm trying to accomplish.
Yeah, maybe pick another deck.
Balance that out, you know. I should show you my stacks.
It's like when you pull the tablecloth out from underneath the Christmas dinner and hope that nothing falls.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. Cirque du Soleil. I'm sending in my application.
Hi.
Hello,
Marina, if you're ready, go for it, love.
Yeah, you know what?
My little Sammy New is here.
Oh. Yeah, your Sutafi, your aunt had to leave that way. She had to leave without you sort of being there or communicating with her. Otherwise, it would have been very difficult for her to leave. She is saying that, yeah, she has become one of your guides. So, yes, she's absolutely on the other side. I think your mom met her, and there was also another lady who was there that met her when she crossed over, and she was a little surprised with the second one, but it was a nice surprise. And she's saying, yeah, she has a new understanding of things, because there was something that that she held an idea while she was here that sometimes people would question, and she couldn't quite explain why she held on to that idea. Well, now she knows now. But yeah, she's one of your guides, and yeah, your mom met her. I don't know who the other lady is, but like I said, she was very surprised that second lady showed up. So yeah. Okay, that's what I got.
So are you getting any hits or messages or weird things happening around you that you're kind of like, well, that's weird, I wonder what that is? Or like, are you seeing like synchronicities with numbers or something? Like, the first card I pulled is Surrender to Your Intuition, which tells me like you're getting signs and messages, and you might not necessarily recognize that you're getting those messages.
Mm-hmm.
I also got grounding. This is from my own little wee oracle deck that I made. This is grounding. So, feeling the earth's power, which is the ability to feel the stability under your feet, but also recharge you at the same time. And the grounding is so important in order to lift your vibration so that connection can be sort of like at full capacity or at full power, I want to say, right? I know this is crazy. I honestly think this is just two cards, like, right? I honestly feel like your aunt is saying to you, surrender to your intuition, because I'm trying to contact your butt and say, hello, how's it going? Right? I'm with you. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. Now, the third card that came out with this second card is joy. So if you can ground and, sort of allow the intuition to be amplified, the joy will come back. And I think that is your aunt's message to you, which I think is beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, so 222 is that you're protected. Hello. 333. I have to look through my deck. 444 is angels are around you. What is 333? Does anybody know off the top of their head?
I do not.
Because I have it in my deck, Oh, there we go. Look at that. You ask and you shall receive. Boom. 3 is you're being guided on your journey. no joke, and it's support.
Yeah. There you go.
So that's why. They are letting you know that they are with you. They're always there. They're watching your butt. You know, that reminds me of a really funny story, and I'm totally gonna go off topic and be a one of those people. But a long time ago, my sister got a reading, and they said that my grandfather was in the kitchen with her. And so I came in the house one day, and she told me about this reading that she got, and I said, "Oh, Papa heard you swear. Oh, girlfriend, you're in all kinds of trouble." And I don't know. She was like, "Stop it!" She got all like, you know, like she was blushing and getting all red in the face. I don't know. She was like, she said like, "Oh shit" or something. I was like, "Oh, Papa, get rid of that." So we made a total joke out of it. The amount of comfort that she received by that person telling her that my papa was in the kitchen with her when she was in there. When my grandfather died, she was like 14 years old. She was a married woman at this point with a child when that was told to her. And it still brought her so much joy to know that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when those numbers occur, what I want you to try to remember to do, Sue, is to write down what you were thinking just before you saw those numbers. Because that is supposedly the confirmation, the synchronistic numbers that you see is the confirmation of the thought that you just had. It is them saying, yes, do this, right? Yes, I heard that. Yes, I think this is a good idea for you. So do that. And if you need more clarity, you can literally ask for it before you go to sleep at night. Say, you know, angels, ancestors, spirit guides, all that make up my spiritual team, whatever you want to say, you know, please come to me in my sleep. I'm looking for this message. I'm looking for clarity. I'm, you know, just say hello to me. Don't scare the crap out of me. Thank you. Amen. You know what I mean? And let them come to you in your sleep. Literally. It'll happen. Yeah. Go ahead, Shari. Look at your kitty all like resting there and like.
I know, totally.
She never does this. She came in. She's actually the one that picked the 3 cards that I have here.
It's because I am the cat lady. I don't know if you're not.
And
you know that.
She literally knocked these cards out of my hands.
Oh, so blessings.
She picked the cards. First card I got is signs. Instincts are the message from the divine. So keep your eyes open for those signs. All 3 of us have now pulled something that said there are signs there. Open your eyes to see them.
Yeah.
The next one I pulled was karma. There's nothing from your past life that can't be brought into this life, good or bad. Depends on what you want to let in the door. I got cat hair in my mouth. The last card I pulled,
and that part's free. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last card I pulled was allowing, and it says, radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment, so what's needed can come next. You have to say yes to the signs and yes to the karma that's coming in order to allow what's coming next, which is going to be pretty damn good. That's what I'm getting off of this.
Beautiful.
You have something good coming your way.
I think so too. I think you are really protected, and you are surrounded by a lot of lovely sort of angelic energy. And I hope that they pay you a visit soon that you like actually recognize, right?
Yeah.
I used to fret about that a lot when my mom first passed. Like, you know, how come she's not communicating with me? Because I was too busy looking for it. I was missing all of the things that were happening. Like when she dropped a penny on my pillow, for example, after I just made it. I was like, okay. But I was trying to make it work in my head. I wasn't actually looking at what it meant. Do you know what I mean? And so sometimes if you can sort of like just be really open to that, you'd be amazed at what they can do. They're watching your butt all the time. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for being here with us and hanging out with us. Thank you so much, Marina and Shari.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Do check out
Then
their
you got to come on my channel
anytime, my friend. check out their channels. Make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you hit the thumbs up for us. Leave a comment after the video. All those things help. All the channels that you watch, doesn't matter who it is. And
Yep.
YouTube algorithm, blah, 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 all that good
Go in after the show and leave a comment under
Even
Kelly's
if it's a
show here.
thumbs
Even
up,
if it's
an
just a
emoji,
thumbs
it
up or
helps.
just
Yeah.
great show, whatever.
Yeah.
You leave a comment, it boosts the algorithm, which pushes it out to more people.
Yeah. I do want to say, Lisa, I did see that you popped in. You're not too late. I'm sorry that you've missed so many, there's lots of different shows on. There's just so many of us. It's hard to pick a time when there isn't a lot of people on. But if you're available at 11 a.m., I will see you tomorrow at 11 a.m. because I'm on every Monday through Thursday at 11 a.m. Tomorrow night, I'll be on at 6 p.m. Eastern time with Allie from Heart and Soul Connected. So on her channel with Gerald from Tarot Stash and myself. And then, that's it. Nobody else needs to know any more of that. Make sure that you have your bell notification checked off so you know whenever, new stuff is coming out. And you guys said that Sisters
Of the Mystical Tarot Wednesday night,
at what time?
4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern.
There you
And
go, ladies.
Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, Miss Tarot D is coming on my show.
Yay! I have Ron and Jay joining me for Friday at the Fire Pit.
Yay.
We hang out at the fire pit and in the backyard, just chill and act silly and do weird stuff. Every time is different. You never know.
Perfect.
That's gonna be fun.
Do you have anything else coming up, Marina, that you want people to know about real quick before we go?
Real quick, on Friday at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I am doing readings with Scott from Scorpio Sun Tarot.
Mhm.
At 12 noon Mountain Standard Time with Allie and Valerie. We've got Story in the Cards. And then Saturday at 1 p.m., I will be a guest on with Denise and Lisa on Spiritual Growth Tarot.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
yeah, really looking forward to that.
Yeah. Jan, she says, I hope to catch you so quickly next Tuesday morning. To you have been so helpful and generous. Take good care of yourself. Love and hugs from way down here. Chilly, wet day. Jan, I know that you said in the chat that you didn't know how to get this to your daughter. Maybe just send her the link to the video when it's done. If you don't know how to do that, send me an email. I'll show you how to do it, or give you the link. Then you could just forward the email to your daughter.
Yeah.
And then she can listen to the part that she needs to listen to. Everybody have yourself a great night. Stay cool if you're in the warm weather. Stay safe. Stay happy. And we send you many blessings. Until we see each other again. Mwah. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.